Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Nahmaduhu wa nusalli ala Rasulil Kareem. We were discussing about the prophets. Allah Ta'ala sent the different prophets: Adam alayhi salam, Nuh alayhi salam, Hud alayhi salam, Salih alayhi salam, Lut alayhi salam. And then now we're discussing that Allah Ta'ala has sent Al Shu'aib alayhi salam to the Ashabul Aika or Ashabul Madyan, Ahlul Madyan. Either they are separate people or they are the same people, right? So whichever way it is, the main thing is that these are people that did not take to heart the message, and like how Allah Ta'ala, all people, the general pattern of Allah Ta'ala sends a message and He gives you respite. And when it is clear now that you are not ready to accept, then He sends His punishment. So that's the common theme. That's the common theme. And the other common theme also is that the Anbiya alayhi salatu wa taslim, they were not mukallaf of forcing anybody. They were just there to convey the message. So Nabi Sallallahu also on his Hajj al-Wada said, Al Ballagtu, Allahumma shahad, Allahumma shahad. Right, so yeah, in the verse we done, Allah Ta'ala chastised, admonished the two illnesses the people of Shu'aib, Ashabul Aika had. The one illness was this, that they stopping people, they themselves were not accepting the Tawheed, and they were stopping other people. They would sit at the roadsides and they would stop people from Tawheed. The other illness was that they were giving short the measurement of people. They were robbing people. I'm giving you 2 kilos, charge me for 2 kilos, but they're giving lesser than that. Hence Allah Ta'ala criticized him. وَلَا تُفْسِدُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ بَعْدَ إِصْلَاحِهَا ذَلِكُمْ خَيْرٌ لَكُمْ إِن كُنتُم مُؤْمِنِينَ. Okay, read it, Madian. Now we're doing starting the Arabic of the Kitab, right? تطلق, right. So Madian, tutlaqu, it is used either for the tribe or the people. Madian, you can say the people of Madian, right? Or it is the city where they were living, right? Right. So وهي التي بقرب معان من طريق الحجاز. This is a place that is close to Ma'an, which is on the road to Hijaz. Remember, Hijaz is that area which is called Makkah, Medina. This is called Hijaz. I wonder I explained to you. We done this also in not you. I think maybe with in the Mishkat class there was a diagram which shows you what is Hijaz in Riyadh, etc. It's called Najd. So this is on the road Biqurbi from Ma'an. Or if you're traveling to Hijaz, to the Holy Land, then you will pass by this, right? And here it's mentioned here in the Shara, Ma'an hiya al-ana baldatun shahiratun fi sharq al-Urdun. Today, this is a famous Ma'an town, which is fi sharqi, on the east of Jordan, right? And we carry on. So the interesting thing here is this was the same place where Musa alayhi salam came to. When Musa alayhi salam, after having mistakenly killed the Coptic, etc., and he fled and he went to Madian, there's the same place. Allah speaks about in the Quran. وَلَمَّا وَرَدَ مَاءَ مَدْيَنَ وَجَدَ عَلَيْهِ أُمَّةً مِّنَ النَّاسِ يَسْقُونَ. And when he reached Madian, the water of Madian, he found by a people that were yasqun, that they were giving water to the animals. So apparently they say today if you go to the north of Saudi Arabia, right up to the north, then on the border, in fact I think this place here is on the northern border of Saudi Arabia. If you travel by car, you go to Riyadh and from there you go up, you'll be able to, in fact I think the place is still known today. There's a big tree there, and you carry on. Right. And so they say here, وَهُمْ أَصْحَابُ الْأَيْكَةِ. According to this opinion of Ibn Kathir, these were the same people of Ashabul Aykah, which Allah Ta'ala mentioned. Was it in the Quran that says, Shu'aib ila Ashab al-Aykati. Allah Ta'ala sent Shu'aib salam to the people of Aykah. Whom Ashabul Aykati. Kama sanadhkuruhu insha'Allah Ta'ala. Like how we will mention later on, we will tell you that the people of Madian is the same people of. So you can see here, Ibn Kathir is of the opinion that Ahlul Madian or Ashab al-Madian was also Ashabul Aykah. Are you with me? وَبِهِ الثِّقَةِ, and this is the more relied opinion, right? So the first universal message that every Nabi came with, Ya qawmi abudullah, O my people, worship Allah alone. Ma lakum min ilahin ghayru. There is not for you any God beside him. So people were steeped in shirk. People were worshipping idols. People were worshiping the wind. People were worshipping the sun, etc., etc. Today you don't find this so much. Today you don't find this. People worshipping the sun. People worshipping the wind, etc., etc. But if you go back to Europe prior to the advent of Christianity, prior to the advent where Christianity was hijacked by the Romans, people would worship the female figure. They said a female figure represents life. They'd worship the wind. They worship the stars. There was a lot of this before, but with the advent of Christianity, with the advent of Islam, this was slowly, slowly eroded. It was slowly, slowly eroded and was slowly, slowly taken out. So the universal message that you worship one Allah, when you worship one Allah, naturally, naturally, it will be easy to follow the Prophet, or very easily you will accept the Prophet, because these are two concomitants, they go hand in hand. Now remember, we say also, the Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah, that Tawheed is not good enough. You have to accept the Prophet, and we point this out to you several times when we do the Hadith, where Nabi Sallallahu said that if Musa was alive today and he doesn't believe in that which I brought it, he will not be successful. So, Ya qawmi abudullah ma lakum min ilahin ghayru. So, you have to follow the Prophet of the time with it. So, هذه دعوة الرسل كلهم. This was the message, the cry, the call of the Prophet, all of them, from Adam alayhi salam till today. So from this you learn also that you as an alim will come into your community, an apa, ma'alima, teacher, whatever, a mother, etc. You just need to make the basis of your talim that Allah Ta'ala does, Allah Ta'ala gives, etc. Carry on. So the clear proofs has come to your Rabb. Clear proofs, right, with regard to this. Carry on. Right. قد أقام الله, Allah Ta'ala has provided, established al-hujaja, jama of hujjatun proof, al-hujaja wal-bayinat, jama of bayinat, ala-sidqi, upon the truth, ma ji'tukum bihi, of what I brought it to you. So this, whatever I'm telling you, Allah Ta'ala has brought the proof to show this. There's no doubt with regard to this, right?
Even if you need me to put your nausea suppressant, you can check with the pharmacy.
Just see YouTube, somebody talking.
They're asking if they got something with non-drowsy nausea. Anything else? No, nothing, only that. I think also the
Right, so I told you the two sicknesses of Ashabul Aika. One is shirk, and the second one was what? The second one was giving short. So first, start with the basis, start with the usul. So that also shows you when you are, when you get a new Muslim, etc., etc. First, teaching the basis. Whenever I come across, I always think about when we were in the madrasa, our Ustad told us that there was a new Muslim and he went in Jamaat. So this Jamaat Sati was breaking his head trying to teach this guy the dua into the mosque. He knew nothing. He didn't know how to istinja, he didn't know how to read the mass, but he's sitting with him and he's breaking his head. He wants to teach him the dua into the mosque. So you see that probably he's not the alim of deen, whatever. That's why he didn't know how to prioritize. So if you're an alim of deen, you know that al-awwal bil-awwal, al-awwal bil-awwal, more important than for a Muslim than to learn now the dua of entering a mosque or dua of leaving the mosque. The first thing is you will teach him tawheed, you will teach him risalat, you will teach him taharat, etc., etc. So first is the basis, then ثم وعظهم في معاملاتهم الناس. Then he advised them في معاملاتهم الناس. Mu'amalat normally refer to, how we say in English, your interpersonal relationship with people, how you deal with people, right? بأن يوفوا المكيال والميزان, that you fulfill the mikyal normally refer to the measurement volume. If you look at fiqh, normally when you speak about scale, you speak about volume, like how today the volume is like liters, kiloliters, milligrams, well, mizan, the weight, like grams, whatever. If you advertising something to be 1 kilo, you advertise something to be 2 kilos, or you advertise something to be 1 liter, 2 liters, then it is only right that you give that exact measurement. You not shortchange the people, right? And Allah criticizes the Quran, وَيْلُ لِلْمُطَفِّفِينَ الَّذِينَ إِذَا اكْتَالُوا عَلَى النَّاسِ يَسْتَوْفُونَ, right? So وَالْمِيزَانَ وَلَا يَبْخَسُ النَّاسَ أَشْيَاءَهُمْ, and you not deceive the people with regard to the things. Carry on. Yeah. لا يخون الناس في أموالهم. Do not deceive the people في أموالهم with regards to their wealth. ويأخذون على وجه البخس, and you take it from them in deceit, right? In a deceitful way. How does this? The next Ibarat explains it, right? Right. وهو نقص المكيال والميزان. It is where you decrease, right? You give lesser the volume and the weight. خفية, stealthily, وتدليسا, or you deceive them. Dallasa, you dalish tadlis. I'm sure you people done this word also in usul al-hadith, where you deceive. You give the impression as you heard it from somebody, but you never heard. So you say that Sheikh so and so say so, but you're not saying you heard it, lying, but you're deceiving. You say قال Sheikh هكذا, whatever. So you give the impression that you heard, but you never heard. You heard it via means. That's so you can say you deceive, right? Deceit. Yeah, it means deceit, right? Carry on. So, like Allah Ta'ala says in the Quran, woe, destruction be to the mutaffifin, those who decrease. Right, carry on. And that's the end of the verse. لرب العالمين, right? وَإِلَّا الذين إذا اكتالوا على الناس يستوفون وإذا كالوا أو وزنوا يخسرون ألا يظن أولئك أنهم مبعوثون, right? Till the end of the verse, right? وهذا تهديد شديد ووعيد أكيد. So this is a severe warning and an emphasized warning, or you can say rebuke, right? Right. Nas'alullah al-afiyata minhu. We ask Allah Ta'ala for a protection from this rebuke, that Allah Ta'ala must save us from falling into this. Like I told you, I told you before that look here, the usul is mentioned there. You can apply this usul in any modern day. Like I told you, a simple thing is when you deceiving the people with regards to quantity and quality. So it doesn't only mean that you're telling the person it is 1 kilo potato, but you're giving maybe 3/4 kilo. I mentioned to you, imagine you give the car a haircut, you're selling cars. So what you do is you turn back the clock. So you're giving the impression to a person that this car had only done 50,000 kilometers, but in the meantime, the car had done 100,000 kilometers. That's also exactly, you are deceiving with regards to quantity, you are deceiving with regards to quality, you are giving a person a wrong impression. So if you understand the usul, you can apply it to a variety of places. You can, I told you, even like, I told you that inshallah, when we do the Hidayah Sharif, we will show you that the usul is there, but how it can be applied to, look, the author when he wrote that kitab, he used those usul to make izhar of the masail or the scenarios that was present in his time. When the Sallallahu was there, he explained the scenarios. He was present in his time. When the author of the kitab was there, he was able to, he explained the scenarios that was present in his time. And if you are a good alim, if you are a solid alim, if you understood your work well, then you will also be able to take the same usul from the Quran and the same, and you will be able to uh, apply to modern day scenarios. So anything where you deceive a person, you give him the impression that this thing is worth so much, or this thing is come from this place, or this is such a quality, and it's not with this, then it will fall within the same ambit of the deceit that is mentioned here. Right? Carry on. So, subhanallah. Right. So, ثم قال تعالى إخبارا عن شعيب. Then Allah Ta'ala says, right, إخبارا عن شعيب, informing from Shu'aib alayhi salam. In other words, he's informing what Shu'aib alayhi salam said. And يقال له خطيب الأنبياء. You never know this. As Shu'aib alayhi salam was called the Khatib, the orator of the Anbiya. Remember I told you, all the Anbiya, they had some distinguishing factor. Like I told you, Musa alayhi salam, he was able to perform the magic, etc. Isa alayhi salam was medicine, etc. Shu'aib alayhi salam was very eloquent, right? لفصاحة عبارته وجزالة موعظته, because of the eloquent nature of his speeches, and the جزالة موعظته, and the power and the effectiveness of his speeches. Okay, read the next verse. I see Manas that you can read. Translate the next verse. Bismillah, a'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Right. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Allah Ta'ala says, وَلَا تَقْعُدُوا بِكُلِّ صِرَاطٍ وَلَا تَقْعُدُوا بِكُلِّ. And do not sit on every road. تُوعِدُونَ وَعَدَ يَعِدُ normally means to promise, but it means تُوعِدُونَ to threaten people. Don't go to Shu'aib. Don't accept him. وَتَصُدُّونَ عَنْ سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ. And you're stopping the people from the path of Allah Ta'ala. To sit on Man amana bi, who believes in him and Allah. وَتَبْغُونَ iwaja, and you are seeking crookedness. In other words, you are trying to create fasad in the world. وَاذْكُرُوا إِذْ كُنْتُمْ قَلِيلًا. And remember that when you were few, فَكَثَّرَكُمْ, then Allah Ta'ala increase you. وَانْظُرْ كَيْفَ كَانَ عَاقِبَةُ الْمُفْسِدِينَ. And look at what the end result of the corruptors were. In other words, take a lesson. So this was an address to the people of Makkah. This was an address to the people of Medina. They did not want to accept the message. They look here, see what happened to the people in the past when they did not listen to the prophet. Look what was the end result. Look how they were destroyed. Look how they were perished. So if you as an individual or you as a community, you do not take to lesson what had happened, then you will face the same destruction. So in the last sentence of verse 86, it was said, وَاذْكُرُوا إِذْ كُنْتُمْ قَلِيلًا فَكَثَّرَكُمْ. And remember the time when you were few, they increased you in number. And look at how the fate of the mischief makers, the twin aspects of persuasion and intimidation were employed to warn these people. So the twin aspects of persuasion, intimidation. Persuasion means to try to convince somebody, and intimidation means like you want to scare somebody. So the first persuasion was when they were reminded of the blessing of Allah Ta'ala. So Allah Ta'ala used two things. One is first, he said, look here first, remind him of the favors that Allah Ta'ala gave them. Right? So that was the persuasion. Then when that never happened, now threaten them. If you don't do like first, you know, it shows you that when you are advising somebody, first you try to diplomatically persuade them. And then if they don't want to listen, now you threaten them. Oh, you don't, no, okay, do this. This is the right thing to do. If you don't, you know, if you study well, you pass. Now you don't want to. Now you say, okay, if you don't do it now, we're going to give you a hiding. We're going to beat you. So you see how you ramp up the rhetoric slowly, slowly. The same thing here. Allah Ta'ala said first, that look here, remember, you know, that we blessed you. But at the end of the day, if you don't listen, then you fandur kaifa kana aqibatul mukadzibin. The first was persuasion. When they were reminded of the blessings of Allah Ta'ala, increased in insignificant numbers, it became a large nation. Remember, in those days, life was very difficult. And if you did not have a big group behind you, you'd be easily swallowed out. Even Qala, what it verse comes where the one and the if only I had a big group, yeah, was it you had a rahat with me. Because remember, it was like the Wild West, you understand, it was survival of the fittest. So Allah is reminding the people of Shu'aib that you were so few, but Allah Ta'ala increased you in numbers. Allah Ta'ala increased you in numbers. So this was a favor of Allah. Then to chasten them through intimidation, it was said that they could do much better. We had looked at the sad end of peoples who had engineered disorder on the earth. So you don't follow in the same example the people of Nuh, Ad, Thamud, example of so many different punishments which should help them understand their own situation and make the correction needed. Right? Okay, so that brings us to the end of that. Tomorrow we will do the Arabic of that. Stop there. Inshallah, next is after this. Now is